guys, I'm back with another video. This time I'm doing a video about Prison Break Season 5, or the downfall of Prison Break Season 5. I was originally planning on doing a video about Two Broke Girls, but that video can wait. I've been obsessing over Prison Break again, so I decided to make a video about Season 5, aka the worst season. So let's get straight into it. Break is a show that ran from 2005 to 2017. Now Prison Break is one of those shows that people think declined in its first season. For me, I think the first two seasons are some of the best television I ever watched. Like, a lot of people hate season 3. I like season 3. I can see why people think season 3 is not for them. Season 4 was absolutely horrible. I hated season 4. And I did not like the ending. So when they announced season 5, I was very, very excited, because they can improve from the mistakes that season 4 have. So I might make a separate video about season 4, because I'm mainly going to be talking about season 5 here. Now, Prison Break season 5, it released in 2017, and the Prison Break final break was in 2009. So there was like a 8-year wait for Prison Break season 5. 8 years for 9 episodes. I just don't understand now why. See, God. Okay, the reason, I don't want to turn this into a rant, but this has to be said. Why were there only 9 episodes? It makes no sense. The reason why so many people dislike season 3 was because it was 13 episodes. Prison Break usually have 22 episodes per season. Season 3 got hate for only having 13, and people think season 3 was rushed, even though I do think some parts of season 3 was rushed, but again, that's for another video. But with season 9, everything just happens so quickly. Like, why? Because it's 9 episodes, everything happens too quickly. My main problem with season 5 just goes out to the episode count. Like, they are trying to tell a 20 plus episode season story, and they're trying to stretch it into 9 episodes. This is a story that can easily be told in 20 episodes, but for some reason they have only 9 episodes to do it. So everything just feels really, really, really rushed, and that bothers me. That bothers me a lot. Now let's talk about the characters. The characters here are at their lowest point. Especially Lincoln. Like, Lincoln went through all that growth in season 1 to 4, and then in season 5 he's just back out on the streets. It's just such a decline of what we saw. And to stay on Lincoln Burrows, what happened to his son, LJ? Like, I just don't get the thought process the writers were doing here. Like, so apparently Lincoln and Sophia, that was his girlfriend, like, they broke up, off screen in season 5. She gets mentioned, we don't see her. The saddest part is she gets mentioned, not name dropped, but LJ doesn't get name dropped. Like, what happened to him? Like, it's such a, why did the writers do this to Lincoln's character? It was just, that really bothered me. And LJ was so important. Well, in all fairness, LJ stopped being important after season 2, but still, at least the other seasons name dropped him, and we saw him appear once. Now, I don't know if the actor who was playing Lincoln's son was busy or not, but they still could have name dropped him, so us the audience knows that he's doing well and stuff like that. But because they just don't name drop him, it's just like, do the show writers remember that LJ exists? Now, speaking of characters who were in other seasons but just don't get mentioned in this one, Mahone. It's kind of sad that I was kind of glad Mahone wasn't here. Like, very, very glad. I'm really glad that Mahone wasn't in season 5, but at the same time, I'm obviously disappointed because Mahone was like my top 3 favorite character in like the whole like franchise of Prison Break. Like seeing Mahone against Poseidon will be really interesting, and don't you worry, we will get to Poseidon. And also, what to Gretchen? Like she was really important, and she doesn't even get name dropped. I really want to say Don Self, but I'm gonna save Don Self for another video, aka the season 4 video. But it's just, I just don't get it. Like Sucre was barely there, and of course I decided to do some research to find out why Sucre wasn't in season 5. And the show, writers, the people who wrote Prison Break season 5 said they didn't really have anything for Sucre to did, so that's why he was barely there. Like, you could have removed Sucre and nothing would have been lost. Because I remember when I was watching Prison Break when I was a kid, and it's just like, I remember, like, I'm rewatching Prison Break. Like, the last time we see Sucre, he left a phone, like, on a plane and then just left. On every other rewatch until recently, I completely forgot about that scene. That's just that's just the lack of screen time he has in season 5. Like, he's my uncle's best friend. Like, he's such an important ally, and this is just what they did with him. Like, season 5 was a big mistake. It was there for nostalgia bait. Now, of course, there are people out there that like season 5, that's completely fine. But you can't deny that season 5, it was unnecessary. It really wasn't needed. Like, I didn't like the end for season 4, and the end for season 5 was not any better. So we're kind of just back at square one. And because Brett McMillan, well, the actor's gay and he didn't want to play any straight roles, that's why they didn't create a season 6. Because they were originally going to do a season 6. Like, why won't the writers learn? Like, come on here. I think Prison Break is the perfect example of what of the problems I have with just American shows as a whole, and that is they really overstay their welcome. Prison Break was a 2-season show, 3 at the very longest. Prison Break is not a show that needed 5 seasons and a movie. Just no. 5 seasons was too many seasons. They overdid it. Like, they clearly overdid it, and by season 4 is like the perfect example that they overdid it. Because Prison Break is clearly a show that isn't meant to go on for very long. That was one of the reasons why I was really invested at Prison Break when I was like an 8-year-old kid. Because I was just so invested. Because if a show like Friends that has like 100 seasons, so I don't tend to watch stuff like that because it has too many seasons. Things will stretch out. You will eventually get bored. But with Prison Break, you think that a show about a guy breaking his brother out of prison, you think that a show like that would be 2 or 3 seasons, but it being 5 just feels unnecessary. Like, it's just a problem I have with American shows as a whole, and it's just them just milking everything as much as possible. Like, if it wasn't for Brett McMillan, we would have a season 6. Like, what? Like, Prison Break is a 2 or 3 season show, probably 2. So, this really just goes on to this this weird America TV show formula of just let the show run as much as possible. Like, I decided to do research just on American TV shows as a whole. Now, I don't know if this is true, but apparently Disney channels, like the Disney, shows, apparently they have a rule that no matter what, after season 4, like 4 seasons, and then after that, no more. Like, I don't know if that is a official rule, but of course, as a kid, looking back at all the shows I watched on Disney channels, a lot of them did have 4 seasons, and that's it. There was like a 5th or 6th season, and I love that because they are not milking just their shows, and I really wish that all these other shows would take ideas out of Disney's book, because it's one of the reasons that put me off of watching American shows. It really is. And now I want to do a special section just for Paul Kellerman. He was one of my favourite characters in the original, like, 4 seasons. And then bringing him back in season 4, that was a plot twist and I loved that. So when I was hearing that he was coming back in season 5, I was so buzzed because I thought he was just going to do so much. I thought he's going to be such a useful ally. Okay, I need to calm down. So, they killed him in season 2, and then he came back in season 4, and they were like, oh no, he didn't die, he survived. And then in season 5, he dies. Oh my. Don't you know how stupid that is? Why would you bring a character back? Like, you kill this character, you bring him back just to kill him off again. Why? Why would they do something so stupid? It can't be. It's because of shock value. Because that's just bad writing. It really is. Because what's the point of bringing this character back? You're just gonna kill him off again immediately. It just feels really, really cheap. Like, oh, you thought this character died, but no, he survived, and then he dies within what is that? See, episode 5 or season 5, and you're just like, wait, what? You're like, I just don't get that. Like, yes, I was shocked, but for all the wrong reasons. That's just really stupid. Like, why are you going to do an OG character like that? Like, it really, really makes no sense. It really makes no sense. Oh my god. Now I'm doing another special section for this character because it's T-Bag. He is one of the best just actors I have ever seen. He would, like, honestly, he will make the perfect Joker. The fact that he hasn't been cast to play the Joker, just, it dumbfounds me. Like, I still don't understand how this guy hasn't become the Joker. He's literally perfect for that. But anyway, I'm getting a bit off the subject. T-Bag in season 5. Why? How could you ruin T-Bag? Why? How could you ruin T-Bag? Oh my god, I'm in a loop. Why? Why? The reason why T-Bag was such a good character and villain was his rivalry with Michael. In season 5, they removed that rivalry with Michael. So T-Bag and Michael in season 5 are all buddies. No. Just no. It's so. Why would you remove arguably the best rivalry in that show for no reason? And it makes no sense. Also, going on of things that makes no sense. How the hell did this guy get out of jail? Like, he broke out of 3 prisons. If you watch Breakout Kings, he broke out of jail about 3 times. He killed a bunch of people. Like, how did this guy get parole and just out of prison? It makes no sense. I've been hearing theories that Michael was the one who helped him, like, get parole, something like that. But it still didn't make sense considering the stuff that he did. It felt lazy. Like, and also T-Bag having a son makes no sense because, you know, I thought in season 2, well, it was season 1 or season 2, maybe it was season 1 in a flashback. Yeah, I think it may be season 1 in a flashback or season 2. It's one of those 2 seasons. That's the point. It was revealed that T-Bag couldn't, you know, he couldn't get people, like women, pregnant, so he couldn't have kids. And in season 5, he has a whole ass kid just right there. Like, what? Like, you can argue saying that T-Bag got the woman pregnant before T-Bag couldn't, get any children, which is maybe that's a bit convoluted, but maybe that could work. But this is another problem. T-Bag's son, Whip as a character is okay. The problem is it happened too quickly. T-Bag finding out he has a son, just it happened too quickly. It's just there wasn't time. See, the problem with Whip is that there wasn't time for us to be invested with him as a character because of the episode count. Because we see him in prison with Michael, he leaves. They escape from prison, and then Whip meets Teabag and finds out that it is they are related. In like seven, maybe 8 episodes. But the point is, there wasn't enough time for us being invested with Whip. That's why his death just didn't hit me, that hard, because it's kind of like it's only 9 episodes and this is just a new character. It just doesn't hit the same. Because I remember when I saw where Whip died, I just couldn't feel sad because he only found out that he had a dad for like 10 seconds and then he dies. It's just, if Prison Break season 5 was a 22 episode season, then I probably would have felt something because we would have had time to be invested with this character. But because everything was just so rushed, it just, oh my god. And the fact that Teabag was barely there as well. I mean, yeah, he had more screen time than Sucre, but that's not really saying much. Like, he disappeared. Like, Teabag disappears for like a good portion of season 5. And I remember when season 5 was airing, that was annoying me because I wanted to see more Teabag. And he was barely there, and that bothers the shit out of me. It really did. Explain that. They never explained that or bring that up again. What was the point of that scene? I want to talk about Michael and Sarah together. Just Sarah getting remarried after Michael died. I don't know. I just don't think that's kind of a character assassination. I just don't think she will remarry after Michael. Like, this is, like, people will probably disagree with me on that. But Sarah marrying Jacob makes no sense considering how much she loved Michael. It's just, it didn't add up for me. They did that for shock value. That's the only reason why they did that. And again, Sarah was not really in season 5. I mean, not really. I mean, I would say this, it was nice seeing Sarah and Michael again. Like, the chemistry was slightly better, but, compared to, like, the other seasons. But, I liked it. Now, time to talk about Michael Scofield. This is where I have problems. To be fair, I really have a lot of problems with the show, but this is something that stuck out to me when I was a kid, because how did Michael survive? No, how did Michael survive? Because I thought the brain tumour was killing him, and people were saying that he was cured from the brain tumour. I'm not going to, because apparently it was terminal. Because apparently Michael said that he was gonna die no matter what. So he's completely fine. The brain tumour is apparently got. They don't even bring up the brain tumour, so that's a plot hole. So they don't bring it up again, so I don't get it. Apparently people are saying he was cured, but I swear there was a scene where Michael said that his brain tumour was gonna kill him anyway, so he decided to, he that's why he sacrificed himself, because he knew he was gonna die anyway, so he wanted to die keeping his family safe, which is a heroic death. Now let's talk about his so-called death scene. How did Michael survive that? He got electrocuted. You can't survive that. There were security guards breaking down the door. The whole prison had security guards, helicopters, snipers, and literally everyone there. So how did Michael manage to fake his death and escape from all of the people chasing after him and Sarah? It makes no sense. That bothers me. It really does bother me because, okay, even if I wanted to believe that Michael somehow didn't get electrocuted, even though it says that he will get electrocuted and die, like, it says he will get electrocuted and die, and then, getting electrocuted will pretty much kill you, or at the very least knock you out. So you're telling me that the security guard couldn't? Oh my god, it's just so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, how did Michael survive that? It makes no sense. He was literally like the police, like, officers, like the FBI agents, all of them were kicking down the door. Michael sacrificed himself by electrocuting himself. Apparently that didn't kill him. And even if I wanted to let that slide, how did he escape? Like, how did he go unseen by everyone? Like, how did he go unseen by Sarah, Mahone, Link, and that FBI dude? It makes no sense. It's so stupid. Like, oh my god, season 5 made the season 4 finale even worse. Oh, this is so stupid. All of this is just a money grab. Season 5 is just a pathetic attempt at money grabbing, and they don't even try to hide it. Oh my god, oh my god, there's still one more character to talk about though. Oh, okay, let's just get it done with. Okay. Let's talk about the main villain for season 5, Poseidon. He was one of the biggest problems in season 5. I think the reason why I'm so frustrated was because how much I liked the idea on paper. Because Poseidon was a smart man. He was kind of a thinker, like Michael. I really like that idea for a main villain in Prison Break. Because one thing I noticed about Prison Break is that they never really challenged Michael on the intellect level. Like, no villain really challenged Michael on the intellect level, except for Mahone in season 2. Like, season 4 is the perfect example, because Michael was smarter than Olaf. He was smarter than the general, but the general just had more money and more resources. He wasn't a thinker like Michael. I always thought that Prison Break really lacked, like, a rivalry for Michael in terms of intellect level for the bad guys. Only Mahone was the one who could rival Michael for that, and that was only for like a season. So to have a villain who was a thinker like Michael, like a main villain, I really think that was a really, really good idea. The execution was really, really poor, and this really goes down to the episode count. Also, call it a nitpick or not, but Poseidon was able to erase all traces of Michael, and no one noticed. I just think that's just unrealistic and stupid, because Michael Scofield led, like, arguably the biggest manhunt in that history. So for everyone to kind of forget what he looks like, I just think that's really, really stupid. But that's people might think that's a nitpick, but I just think that's bad writing yet again. I mean, they want to show off how powerful like this new villain is, but not like that. But my problem is, the main issue with Poseidon was he was like a main villain for like 2 episodes. Because after he got caught, he really had like 2 episodes. Like, really, he actually had 1, but 2 at best. But realistically, 1 episode in the series finale when he was actually, when we learned his motivation and everything. because oh my god, this was such a good idea, but it was so poorly executed. Like there wasn't enough time, because it wasn't really a good twist, because we kind of just knew that he wasn't a good guy, because no matter what, Michael was going to remove him. Even let me explain, because he was Sarah's husband. Even if that didn't make him Poseidon, he was still a rivalry to Michael, if that makes sense. This was a 22 episode season, this definitely would have worked. But because it was 9 episodes and the writing was just bad, none of these things worked or gel well. It was just, I would say this positive. His ending scene was, I love the ending scene. It was really, really good. That is it for this video. Despite everything I said, Peacemaker is still one of the best shows of all time. But those first 2 seasons and some bits of season 3 were some of the best television ever. Season 4 will get its own video, don't you worry about that. But this is it for this video, and the next video might be a 2 broke girl video. 2 broke girls, that TV show. I might review that next, most likely. But that is it for this video, and I'm out. Peace.